If you want to be my friend,
Did we nail it?
you would better go and get a pen. And maybe we can keep in touch like did in the old days. It wasn't so long ago. And I wish you well. Oh, sign your pen, pals.
I always run out of breath.
You know what I always run out of breath, and I also love that Lissa, who is a singer, has to listen to this every day.
This is what I was going to talk about.
She's forced to listen to two guys who don't know what they're doing.
Would you be willing, and we could do it with Lissa or go somewhere, where we take a vocal lesson on how to properly sing the song,
Yeah.
and we put it out as Pen Pals content?
Yeah.
To try and really sing it. Because I learned that I sing very comfortably in the key of F.
Who taught you that?
Look how proud of herself she is.
Dude,
look. Wait. Look.
What am I, a 3?
Look at
So I'm
her.
like a 3?
Look how proud of. Can you see her face as clearly as me?
She's beaming.
She's rouging. She's rouging.
Well, key of F because you're an 8.
What?
Right? Key of F because you're an 8. I'm a 3, so I'm more of like, what would you say? I'm like
I wonder what you are. Can I guess?
artist.
Raconteur.
I don't know. A fucking free thinker. Topical term.
I don't know why, and I have nothing to base this on other than me being an F. I feel like you're kind of in the key of G. Lissa?
I actually think that Rory would sing more comfortably lower than you would.
I thought G
Interesting.
was lower. Is E lower?
Mm-hmm.
So you think I'm an E for
Chad's even
excellent
proud of me.
singer?
But-
Chad, am I an E for excellent singer?
I want to be clear. That song that you sang was in the key of F and was good.
No,
But-
you put it into the key of F.
What song did you sing?
It's a whole deal. I can't talk about it because
You have to.
it's Amy Mann.
It's their podcast.
Amy Mann wants her and I to sing a song together, and it didn't work out for the Largo show, so we still might do it. I don't want to reveal the
Amy,
song.
if you're listening to this, why
She
have
might
I
be.
not been invited to sing a song with you?
Oh, I guarantee she'd sing a song
Let
with
this
you.
be my audition.
Okay.
And I'm really trying this.
Okay. All right. Do you need any water or anything?
This is real.
Okay. I don't want to ask any. I want so many
For any
questions.
ASMR fans.
Okay.
That's good water. There it is.
Okay.
I am color blind.
It wasn't bad. Oh.
Coffee black and egg white. Pull me out from inside. Is that good?
Yes.
What is that?
It's
Is that E?
so good.
Fucking E-
Amy, come on!
It's fucking easy for you, dude.
Easy E, dude. Amy,
Wait,
let that be my submission tape.
What was that? You made it
Counting
up?
Crows.
Pretty great.
Do you know what I want to do?
Yeah.
On one of my whatever shows, I want each performer to have to go out and do something that like
Scares them,
it scares them. Like for me,
but artistically.
I want to go out and play because I can play that song and I
Yeah.
want to sing it. And I don't know that even at a bad level that I can do both at the same time. So not only do I want to get good at playing the song and sing it at the same time, I actually want to like sing it really well.
Uh-huh.
And I want to do it in front of people where now it's like that, like, oh, it's at the show. It's in the safe space of everyone's trying to do something
Right.
that they don't usually do.
Sure.
So you got the
There's a lot of
safety
grace,
net
lot
of
of grace,
failing, a
lot
lot
of
of
grace,
grace,
yeah.
and the audience knowing it. And then I want like even members of the audience, if someone's like, I've always wanted to blah, 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 be like,
Right.
all right, tonight's the night to try to do
Okay,
it.
now here's my thing for that. Have you seen a lot of musical theater in your life?
No.
One time
But I
was-
do think we're going to show Elliot Little Shop of Horrors movie.
Ooh.
Right? A kid could handle
I
that.
think so, yeah. When you're a dentist.
Downtown.
I once saw a musical.
Downtown.
I don't know if it was a musical, but the actor had to sing a song, and they were not good. Right?
And it was the only song of the whole thing.
I think
And so
it
it
might
made
have
no
been.
sense.
And they were not good, but they put so much into it.
They
It was
went.
like beautiful.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So when you do that,
Yes.
just being the performer I know you are, the more you really, like you're saying, like we've all had times to be in comedy. I really want to do this for you guys.
Yes.
I really want to try it.
Yes.
It's not, even if you do horribly, it's not going to go bad.
Yes.
Now, if you've gone out and be like, tonight, I am going to perform for you.
Yeah.
It better go good.
Yeah.
Right?
But also, if you're kind of being jokey, if you're not fully committing to it, people read that stuff.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
So you're an E, huh?
I mean,
Here's the weird thing.
that's what Alyssa
She-
said. Wait, you said that like I'm in a different like Grease Lightning, like
No, you're an E. This is what I found out.
like you're the pink ladies
we find
and I'm
out-
a different.
So I was
Can
trying.
I ask a question about Grease? And
Yeah.
this might be something I
Yes.
want to say on stage.
Go ahead.
But were all the other students at the school like, yeah, and then those 8 people are broken up into 2 gangs
There were a lot
that one's female and this one's male. But at this particular school,
Right.
you will see no other gangs.
Right. I do think there was a lot of kids being like, I'm just trying to get to class. I'm just trying. Can I get through? Can I get through
Like
here?
other people had to be like, oh, that's cool. You guys all have pink jackets and stuff.
Right.
But it's like, is that so? That's your group.
would be great
That's
if-
like your team, your club.
That one number in the diner, it would be great if at the end somebody was like, we ordered fries like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Can
And
we
you just
just
seem
get-
to be focused on that. I don't know. What is that? A 16 top now? You can't just do that.
That's so funny. What I was gonna say,
What were they called? The boys? What was there?
the T-Birds.
The T-Birds.
Was it really?
The T-Birds.
Oof, I pulled that out of nowhere.
But also like the T-Birds and the pink ladies.
yeah.
And like at some point, do they get together and be like, all right, so we'll be the boys group, you be the girls group, and we'll have friction. Like when they all end up getting together
You're very on Grease
individually.
right now.
We would just watch it with Elliot. When they
What'd
all
she
get
think?
she loved it. She auditioned for it to be in the show. The kid version.
And?
No parts yet. Doesn't know.
Okay, doesn't know.
But she went out for Frenchie and crushed it.
She'd be a great Frenchie.
Do you want to hear something?
I don't know. Do you want this on? Is this for everybody?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's adorable.
Is this her singing?
This is her singing the song that she had to audition with.
Would you say she's more of an A?
She's a 6 on.
I solve my problems and I'll see the light. We got a loving thing, we gotta feed it right. There ain't no danger, we can go too far. Stop believing now, and we can be who we are. Grease is the word, so word is the, Grease is the word. They think that love is just a growing pain. Why can't they understand it's just a crying train?
All right.
Dude, I'll take all of that you
How
got.
great is she?
I know.
So if anyone listens to this show and you're in casting, we're really trying to become those parents.
She's just so. She feels. She's like nonchalant, just fucking hitting this rhythm.
I
and
mean,
these
that's a
notes.
video. At the end, her eyes are closed, and she's like not joking. She's really in it.
Yeah.
And even when she finishes the last note, she like opens her eyes and is like, done. And I was like, oh my God, you're too strong. You're too strong.
Well, we're gonna find your. I want to find your key because the last thing I'll say, and then we'll go, is I was trying to sing this song in the way that it was done because I'm a mimic, you know.
Yeah, I think I have that problem.
Yes.
Also. I think it's a problem.
And,
I do it too. We talked about this with Amy Mann.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I just wasn't there, and then Lissa keyed it down like the same song
Yeah.
somehow. I don't know.
Is there like a
editing
dinner
software.
that you and Jacoby and Amy are going to at some point? Is that like a thing?
You don't think you wouldn't be invited? Jacoby, I don't know. The word's out on
Jacoby
Jacoby.
told me I'm not allowed in the hotel. He like wrote me and said I'm not around. Could you imagine?
Are they
Could you
open?
imagine Jacoby? No, I don't know. Could you imagine
No,
Jacoby
this-
going full 180 on any sense of a friendship?
He's gonna show up in Houston.
Oh, I know. And
I
we're gonna
bet-
fight.
and you
We're
know
gonna
what?
MMA fight.
I got a hat, but to make it up to you, you're gonna get like a whole gift basket.
Oh, don't do that, Jacoby. If you are listening, and that is a move you might do, and I'm
I
not
know.
saying it
I
is.
know. No,
I'm
no.
not saying
But
it is.
it wouldn't shock
I
you.
can't fly that home. is my
That's a great point.
My point. I will have to give it out on stage, which also I would do if that helps.
What if
the
he brings
hotel?
Vicky?
That's
to-
right, Dave. I'm willing to help the hotel while not getting any merch from it.
What if he brings Vicky to our stand-up? I mean, there's no world in which that happens.
What if she heckled and like was winning, like putting you in your place, and you're like, I don't know how to handle Vicky right
Oh, she doesn't start a battle, she ain't gonna win. Right?
I don't fire cannonballs unless I got them. Like, Vicky, that doesn't really make sense as a phrase.
You want to go?
Wait, who the fuck?
What?
How much potential spam do you get a day? 1 million?
Mine's gone way down.
Jesus. Let's go to the letters!
Snap, jump, and then what? Snap. And then over here. And then to me. And then handshake. Sarge. And then.
All right, I got a few
Dude, we're like
letters here.
baseball players. One of us
I
just
am
hit like a triple.
Yeah. Some of those high fives. When do they practice
Dude, and
that?
it's like this, and then this, and then this.
Hold
on, where are we?
Where are we? Who
Okay.
are we?
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go first.
You
Are
want to go
ready?
first?
Are you ready?
Yeah, first with this one.
First with this one.
Okay, great.
Ready?
Yep.
Dear Rory and Daniel, how do I begin this letter?
I could have told you.
Well, I think they did it right. I think they've already begun it. You know
You know
what
what?
I mean?
This one,
Yeah.
fine.
I don't think we have to begin things. Sometimes they've only just begun.
Ooh, somebody got a call back.
I'm such an E. How do I begin this letter? Let's start here. Like
Okay.
Rory and Jesse Jackson, I was born in Greenville, South Carolina. Also, Shoeless Joe Jackson, famous bass.
Yeah.
Unlike Rory, my mother didn't take me home from the hospital. Instead, she put me up for adoption. A very nice couple from Iowa adopted me, and I grew up an especially unremarkable life in the Midwest.
Easy.
It's the Midwest. I mean, is
Don't
there
you dare.
anything
Don't
even
you dare.
there?
Don't you
Don't
dare.
you do that. My parents were unable to have children of their own, and they never adopted again, so I was an only child. Growing up, I had lots of my mother's family around, and my adoption status was never a concern for them. I was simply my parents' son. They were all of farming stock, closely associated with the earth. Their ancestral roots were primarily from the British Isles, with a bit of Dutch thrown in. However, none of that was ever celebrated in our family. Somewhere along the line, they had bought into the American dream and never looked back. In spite of the love I generously received from my family, I knew on a fundamental level I never belonged to them. As a kid, I would see movies featuring immigrant or ancestral stories, movies like Fiddler on the Roof or The Godfather, and what always struck me in these movies was the bond that was created through a shared cultural identity. In these stories, no matter where the protagonists went, they were always connected to a community through bonds of ethnicity. They understood the parameters of being human through their own cultural lens. As a lonely, only child who didn't feel the connection to his adopted family, this longing for a heritage ran deep in me. Throughout my life, this longing for connection has given me a certain fluid understanding of family as I came of age and left home. I intentionally, if unwittingly, built family around me wherever I went. And as much as I loved these people, there was still an emptiness at my core. When I was adopted, the process was shrouded in secrecy, ostensibly to create the privacy of the mother and to ensure the rights of the adoptive parents. So I knew nothing of biological family save for one thing. For as long as I can remember, I was always convinced that I had siblings in the world. I just didn't know how to find them. When we first got the internet at my house, the first thing I did on it was to try and search my adoption records. Another dead end. It wasn't until a few years ago when my wife gave me a DNA test for Christmas that the clouds finally parted and I began to learn the truth. I had brothers and sisters, lots of them. The TLDR version, what does that mean?
I do know it, but every time I see it, it throws me off. It's too long, didn't read. So he's saying, like, if you just started here, here's the too long for everything, didn't read.
I always think it's Total Request Live with Carson Daly. The TLDR version of my story is that my biological mother gave birth to 12 kids and gave 10 of them up for adoption.
Whoa!
That's right.
10.
In the 6+ years since this discovery, I have met 7 of them and know the identities of 2 more.
He's like, okay, sorry.
Of the 10 who were adopted out, none of us had the same father until we found the most recent, who turned out to be my full sister. I have since also discovered the identity of my biological father and learned of 3 more half-brothers from his side of the family, although my welcome there was much more tempered. So, let me pause here to say that this has been the greatest blessing of my life. I have built strong relationships with my siblings, and I'm so happy to have them in my life. I'm also very excited to finally know what my ancestral roots are, Scottish and Norwegian. But here's the kicker. I naively assumed that simply knowing what my heritage is, I would immediately feel that connection. What I've come to realize is that I have no idea what it means to be Scottish or Norwegian, and I'm not really sure how to authentically engage with it. At the end of the day, I'm still left with the question, what does it mean to belong, and who am I? I'm not sure that I'm even asking for any advice here. More important to me is just being able to shout these questions into the vacuum of mystery that is the world and assume that others share these same longings. Thanks for listening. Your pal, LB.
Longaberger basket.
Bring, brang, 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 bring.
No, do it in an E.
Bling, blang, blang, blang,
That's like a D.
Is that a D? Why do we think she knows?
Bling, blong, bling, blong, bling.
You've already been hired by Amy. I'm the one auditioning.
Technically, I got
And
hired.
what I mean that is,
and then fired.
I'm the one auditioning. It's not the kind
That's
of
some Catholic
singing
shit right there. That's you want to talk about. That's some Catholic shit right there.
Oh, Christ is born again.
Jesus, Lamb of God.
Jesus has been born 7
Okay.
times.
Okay. Hey.
Let's get into it.
Okay, I want to get into this.
Let's mix it up
First of
and
all,
tear it down.
He's out here searching. He's like Thanos with all these kids. He's trying to collect them all.
Marvel.
Trying to collect them all.
You talking Marvel right now?
Mm-hmm. Phase 3.
The one thing do you know your family's ancestral history? Like, what's your deal?
Dutch. Scottish.
Dutch, Scottish.
Yeah.
Do you feel something with that?
You know what's interesting you say that?
And you've known it your whole life, right?
Yeah, Van Kirk,
Yep,
baby.
there you go.
McCaslin.
Yep.
Now, I was legally born N-A-L-L
Yeah.
as a last name. I do not know what that is. For some reason to me, it feels German.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. But
Yeah,
that might be-
I can go with that.
Um,
I'll accept.
Thanks. Here's what's weird, right?
Yeah.
I don't identify with that name at all,
Yeah.
and very little with that family.
Yeah.
And so I don't care.
Yeah.
Even if somebody was like, your percentage is you're actually all NALL, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm like, well, whatever.
Yeah. You
So
don't feel it.
it's like Scottish and Dutch to me.
Yeah.
Maybe Null is one of those. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would be it makes me want to go to the Netherlands,
Yeah.
but I don't have that like calling that I think some people are like, I need to go see, but I'm definitely interested by it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel
Well, the Netherlands is just fun in general.
sure.
Like, it's just, even if you felt nothing. Actually, here's what I think would happen. Because the Netherlands is so fun, and I don't mean just Amsterdam.
Right.
But Amsterdam is fun. And Amsterdam is not necessarily fun for the ways in which we've always thought as kids, where it's like, pot's legal, and you can do drugs, and there's
It's
prostitution.
kind of great that at our age now in time that so much of this country's caught up
Yeah.
that you aren't going there really for that
But
thing
even
anymore.
But even
you know
when
what
I first went in 2009, like in going like into the red light district,
yeah.
I was like, oh, Amsterdam is this, but I never knew that Amsterdam was this other vibe and this other feeling, and it's just an awesome city outside of the legality of all of those things. You almost I'm not there as a customer, like especially now. I'm not there as a customer of the pot. Like that doesn't blow my. I will go buy pot and I'll smoke it, sure. But the mushrooms being legal, that is something where I'm like, oh, that's kind of crazy. I can just walk in here, buy mushrooms, and go to the park and do them. I'm not there for the prostitution. I'm not there for other hard drugs. Like, so being there, I'm like, oh, this is a fun district to walk through because there's a insane legality to all this. That's like you go, oh, this is what
is it like beautifully quaint?
Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so many people bike, so you don't have this noise of cars that you usually have. Yes, you do have
like
cars still,
yeah,
and there is noise from it, but it isn't so overwhelming because so many people ride bikes, and it's just the canals, and it's such a walking city. You'd almost hate to be driving.
Yeah.
And when you walk, you're like, this is terrifying to have to try to navigate this in a car. You would hate it.
Yeah.
But it's just an awesome place. I think if you went, you wouldn't necessarily feel. I think the connection you would feel is you would go, oh, cool. My history is from a cool country, not just Amsterdam in general. But I think you would go,
I want to go into it,
cool,
not just Amsterdam. I want to go like
country.
Yeah. And then Scotland too.
Yeah.
Right, but like
I think you'd feel the same. I think you'd
What
feel
about-
like oh, cool.
what about you?
I think French. My aunt loves
Yeah,
genealogy, and she's looked into it, and I think our last name used to be Scoville. And then there was like a schism in the family, and half were like, we're now VEL. Fuck you. And like, and then I have no idea where we went from there, or how we
Like,
left France.
Do you know? Yeah, you don't know who got here. This is what I have wondered in the past couple of years, and I tried having a conversation with Rosemary about it. I think we figured it out, but now I don't remember. Of like, how did we end up in Rochelle? Like, who was the first here? Like, how did we get there?
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Like, why Rochelle? Like,
it
why?
has to, I mean, the easiest answer is probably the truest one.
Yes,
Agriculture.
yes.
It was land.
Yeah. But when you think about it,
Pennsylvania
like,
Dutch probably came
like
over.
even now, like if someone goes, well, why L.A.? You're like, well, this is work, and I do work.
But that's
here.
a lot of Rochelle too, because of like with the other side of my family, my Uncle Ken's side, it was they came up from the south to work in Del Monte and to work in the fields.
Yeah.
And then
But I think that's what I mean is the fact that it's almost like at that time, like right now, if someone goes, why do you live in L.A.? You go, well, given what I do, at least in trying to write or act, it's like L.A., Atlanta, kind of. You could narrow it down to those two. If someone said, why do you stand up? Someone could still go, why L.A.? And then you go, I guess there is a lot of options. I think that's what I mean. Like, but the further back you go in history, when someone's like, well, I just want to work in a field, you're almost like, they don't have fields all over the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, what pushes someone into, and not just your family being Rochelle. I mean, that is a blanket question for everybody. Like, what made someone just be like, and then we just stopped in Oklahoma? Like, did people just, in their migration west, they just stop?
Well, it's
and go,
funny you
I'm
said
fucking
Oklahoma.
tired of the road.
But it's funny you said Oklahoma because you know the story of the Sooners, right?
Of course
Yes.
I do.
Did you forget?
No,
Okay,
I know
okay,
it.
okay.
I know it for sure.
So for anybody who doesn't remember, but specifically, Oklahoma's a great reason you said. They were giving the land. It was first come, first served to take your land.
Come and get it.
And there were all these people
who wanted
went
to take
in
it
too early.
and
they got there sooner than everybody else. They
it's like
snuck
before
in.
they're open.
It was like a day that you could go in, and these people went in like the night before.
Yeah,
and
it was like in the fall. Or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
And so I think also for people who were like in Michigan, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it was all progress, right?
Yeah.
So I literally do think what you're saying is it was in Michigan and they had fields, but there were people there who were like working on farms and started families and it wasn't their land.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, if you're willing to go farther to Illinois, there's a lot of cheap land there. They're trying to like build this up and they put a rail, like especially in Rochelle where the major railways intersected. That was like a good idea. Well, and the land there is like, I've told you like the dirt story of when some dignitaries from China came over and like toured Rochelle, and they kept apologizing for our fires because the soil's so rich and black. They thought we had massive fires.
Oh, right.
So the land is like once people found that, they're like, oh, go there. It's way easier to farm. So that was another reason. But I think what we were joking about is the truth. Is like, yeah, there are fields here, but it just became like, well, you can get land here. If you're willing to try and get over the Rockies, there's a lot of land over there on the other side. Yeah. And so I think that is how they would get somewhere late and everything else would kind of already be taken or it was got too expensive. So they'd go farther where it was maybe a little less lawless or a little less comfortable, but more opportunity.
Yeah.
But I would love to know.
God, I could not imagine.
I know, I couldn't either. Sometimes I think about when people come over the San Andreas Mountains.
Yeah.
Like what it must have looked like to look out at what is now the coast of California.
Right, yes.
And when nothing was here. Like were they just like, was it kind of like, this is going to sound like a joke, but was it kind of like Land Before Time?
Yes.
In the Green Valley? Like, was it like, holy shit?
It had to be.
Right?
Imagine getting to the ocean and being like, we went as far as we could go. We did it.
We went as,
like going, the Oregon Trail being like, well, here we are.
Right.
This is the ocean.
Right.
We can't go further than this.
Right.
Yeah. That is so crazy.
Do you have a pull at all to like, you've been to France, right?
I've been to France.
Did you look up your people? Did you try to find any?
No.
Conan had that thing where he went back to Ireland. It's one of the, I don't know why this always stuck with me, but he went back to like the cliffs of O'Brien. Yeah. And he is hanging onto the side of this hill and it's just
so windy.
Yes. And he's like, why would we ever leave here?
But why didn't we stay?
Yeah.
I don't think I felt anything. I don't think I feel that stuff. I think finding out something is cool or interesting, but like if you even said like,
I know Van Kirk was a different name. I think it was Kurt. It's translated to the church.
Yeah.
The church.
I mean, if you even said that there is a like undeniable like DNA direct line to like Abraham Lincoln. Obviously that's hyperbolic
cool.
in a way, but I don't know that I'd feel that. I might be like, oh, that's interesting.
Right.
But I don't know that I feel that, because I think everything has just moved on. That for me, I do appreciate history, and I do think it's important that we know the history, but I don't know that I fully connect with it in so many ways. Like, I feel more of a connection, strangely, to like and we've talked about this, like, what time would you want to live in? I feel an affinity for, and I think we share it in, when you're in Madison and you walk past a 70s looking old school bar.
Yeah.
I feel something about that aesthetic and that time frame more powerfully than if you told me something like the Lincoln thing. Like, I don't know that I'd go to the Lincoln Memorial or learn history and go, yes. But if I walk past a bar, or I go to a bowling alley that's been around since 78 and the cocktail bar in there looks really cool, I genuinely feel like something in the space of that time period.
Well, I think you and I also, we enjoy simplicity. Like, if we had a bar we really loved and we took people and they were like, my phone doesn't work in here, and we'd be like, I know, isn't it great?
Yeah.
Like, we also kind of enjoy,
like in Paris, like sitting on a sidewalk. Like, one thing I liked about Paris when we went was at 5 o'clock, it really was kind of a rush to like people getting the tables outside. Usually the tables outside of the place were like along the outside.
Yeah.
And they were just like shoved up, and there was almost like a bench all the way along the side. So people like sat there and then table and like some chairs, but it was like people out there smoking, having their drinks, their 5 o'clock drinks. And it was like such a thing, like, get in there, plant, that's your spot until you're going to go have dinner. And there was something I really loved about like that. Like, I connect to those type of things that I don't think are relevant to anything in my history, but there's something about that. All I'm bringing up is drinking and bowling. But you know what you mean.
But I think it ties into more of like your
if
place.
If you took me to
and
France and you said,
people,
this village is where your family began, I would go, oh, that is interesting and crazy to like learn.
Right.
But I don't know that I would totally connect with it in a way that I truly cared about. Like, I've done the 23andMe DNA thing because I was like, oh, what am I going to learn here?
Right. What cold cases am I going to solve?
Yeah, I haven't even gone back in to be like, I'll get an email. It's like, new update. I don't even care. Right. I don't even go into it being like, show me a thing about my family. It isn't there.
Can I maybe
point
something out to you that you could take a hard pass on?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because you found that sort of feeling in comedy and other comics? That is your tribe. Like, those are your people.
Maybe.
You have your sense of belonging and your relevance. I wonder if for some people, and I hope this doesn't sound negative, if they're kind of in a job that they only do because it pays the bills and there's not a lot of like things that they do to feel rewarding, right? They're like, well, where's the significance in this?
Yeah, I mean, maybe
so they wonder, well, where did I come from and how did it, but you found your people when you got to DC.
I also think it's just the older I get. Like, I just don't feel it the same way. Like, even in like the community of who friends and stuff are. I mean, you really like, it's weird how you get older and things just kind of simplify, like what you're doing and who you're seeing and what you're doing with your free time. I just think that the knowledge of that stuff has never interested me. I just never been interested in it.
It might be because you have your people.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I not to.
I mean, in this case, if I were in this case,
that's what I was saying.
Then I would. Oh my God, I would be like over the moon searching for it. Like, if I'm in this position, like, you make a good point. I now see the point you're making. If I'm in this position of, I don't know where I come from, and I don't know who I am. I assume if I'm in the same boat as our writer here, I almost think I'd be like no holds barred, wanting to find answers and wanting to know details of things. But I think in the end, having that information and not having it, I think the question of what does it mean to belong, I don't know that there's this overarching answer for it because I know a lot about myself and where I come from, and I don't necessarily the sense of belonging for me. I think I've been so independent in so many ways that I don't think I look for this community as much. Like I think I think I somewhat find myself in communities, and I find myself in friendships and places that I go, oh yeah, this is what it means to belong. But I don't think I've ever had that feeling in terms of, and it seems to be what we're getting at here, like ancestrally. I don't know that I care about some overarching connection to the
also,
past.
like sometimes when you go back, man, old people, like old-timey people did crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like you go back and like learn these stories.
Everyone murdered somebody.
My grandma told me that like
everyone's a murderer.
I think so.
Actually, that might be true.
Don't hold me to this if you're trying to keep a catalog of personal facts about Daniel and
Or
Rory.
do, Shanley.
My grandma told me that like someone was like 2 years old and her 5-year-old sister died, and then they just started calling the 2-year-old the 5-year-old's name for the rest of her life.
Interesting.
And essentially raised her as if she was the one who died.
Okay.
And then my grandma didn't find this out until like 30 years after knowing this.
Wait, is this that Annabelle movie?
No, that's...
Are you just repeating movie plots?
No.
Okay, this is real?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then she married a guy he was like a steward of a hotel through the winter, right? So they go to this hotel, and it's just them and their kid, and he's a bit of a goofball, right? And then you find out this kid the whole time has some sort of ability to talk to an older black man.
This isn't The Mist.
The video game?
This isn't The Mist. This just feels like The Mist.
I don't know.
Side note, how many people are bothered by that?
A lot. They're bothered that I said video game. They're like, PC?
What? What? The Mist?
But yeah, you go back and you find crazy stories about people. The last question I have for you this, and then we'll run out of here.
Yeah. We got to run, folks.
I know. Wow, we gotta
Good luck catching up with us.
Do you have anybody in your past or currently in your life who was adopted?
No.
What I'm about to say is a good thing. It always seems like it's such a wildly different experience from person to person, right?
Yeah.
Some people are like, they chose me, so these are my people.
Yes.
Other people just get fucked over by whatever kids they have. These people picked me.
They picked.
Yeah. And then there's some people who look at that and go, my family didn't. My mom or dad
friends who have
didn't
adopted
want
children.
me, and then they and as a person who has to deal with a lot
Yes.
of like early trauma in my own self, I'm not pointing any fingers. They have trauma around that they need to deal with, right? And then there's some people that are like, oh, I'm 100% these people from Iowa, and that's who I am because they picked me. And then we get like LB who could say like, I never really felt like I fit in.
Yeah.
And I think that is wonderful. Not for any pain.
Yeah.
But I think that is wonderful that it's always wildly different.
Yes.
Because we need to get, I think that for a long time there was a like, well, if you adopt a kid, you're going to run into, and it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You don't know, you're going to run into whatever you run into. Just like if you birth a kid, you're going to run into whatever you're going to run into.
Yeah, personalities are personalities.
Right.
Yes, you can influence people, but.
And age and of course and stuff like that. And maybe when they were adopted and what they've been through. Obviously that is true, but that's true for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Like you nowhere near adoption, birthed into two things, and then your life quickly went through things at an early age that you're like, here, figure this out, and see how that does for you the rest of your life. But I don't know anybody. Either. But I think that
I have friends. I have some friends who were adopted, and I have some friends who have adopted children.
Yeah. Same.
And it's I don't even really think anything of it. It's so it's so interesting. I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of up to them however much they think of it.
We were gonna potentially adopt if we wanted to have another child, and then we decided one is a lot, a lot of work.
Yeah.
So we're doing the one. If anyone is an agent and you heard my daughter sing, hit us up.
What about I heard you sing?
Or if you think I could cut it, if you think I could cut an album,
You and
LB
Elliot start a family band. Jordan's not in it.
Yeah, and we are big. We're LB. I just want to say thank you so much for this letter.
Yeah.
And for opening up and letting us know your family about your family, and good luck with the exploration of finding out your true self. I don't know externally what influences the internal, but I feel like
don't you think it was also positive to be like, oh, I found out I'm Scottish and Norwegian, and then realized that didn't mean anything to me? Like that's growth too, to be like, oh, maybe I pick this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna be what I cultivate.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it like discovering what it is.
LB is like, and I didn't know Norwegian immediately. Like, well, it's not the Matrix. You don't download it. LB, we wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel
and Daniel Van Kirk.
Get that right.
Yeah. It's too long to get
We're back. And we're back. Daniel and I obviously working on our voices.
Farewell. Avitas and good night. What do you
this
want to
is
talk
where
about?
we plug.
We got 2 weeks until the thing we're doing together.
2 weeks until.
Do you have anything in between?
No. So come on out to the Come and Take It Festival. Watch us do our stand-up. Come to a live Pen Pals. They're rare. We want them to be less rare, but right now they're
not rare in Texas.
No, they're
but
the most.
Overall, they're rare.
But they're rare. Like, look, we always do. We've done them in Houston 3-4 times.
Well, Dallas
3
and Austin.
Texas in general. We only play Texas, which is so strange.
We're trying to flip it blue.
Look, we're trying to flip Texas, you guys. So come on out to the Come and Take It Festival. See us do stand-up. See other people do stand-up. It's a big festival with a lot of comics. But also do not miss our live Pen Pals, which is on Saturday, November 19th, I believe.
2 questions.
It's the weekend before Thanksgiving. So come and hang out.
2 questions.
3.
3.
Yes, go.
Quick.
Speed round.
Did you know that on Thursday I'm doing my first ever live Hub City bingo?
Bam.
Okay,
next question.
That's at 6 o'clock on the first day of the festival?
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Did you see the person who tweeted at us a picture of their VH copy of Spring Break?
I'm off Twitter, but I love that. VHS?
Okay. I didn't know if somebody passed it along to you.
What did they say?
Just like we had. They were just like, I love that I have this, and you guys talking about I also love this movie.
Yes.
Have either one of us talked to Andrew Youngblood about doing a screening?
Oh no, neither of us have done anything.
Okay.
But yet, when we record this, it's not November 9th. So don't lose faith in us.
All right.
Because there is a chance that when you're listening to this right now, we have now talked to Andrew about doing a screening.
There's a good chance.
You have no idea. Because right now, today, we haven't. But today, we maybe did.
Yeah. Yesterday.
You guys, when is what?
Right.
It's a hashtag for a reason.
And if you're listening to this like 2 years from now,
oh my God,
I guarantee we talked to Andrew.
I've never even thought about talking to people so much further in the future. Like, I'm new to the show. I'm catching up. Like, this could be 2024 for somebody.
I just talked to somebody who goes, I'm getting to the end of 2019 and I have so much anxiety about what's going to happen to the show because they know about the pandemic coming. And we're idiots.
Yeah.
You remember we sat in Houston in February of 2020 and we talked about a pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yes. I go, well, I'm talking about something so crazy they shut down water parks. Got a big laugh. Wasn't very funny, like a month later.
I even think about that. I guess I got a huge laugh because people were like, why does Daniel love water parks so much? I love them.
But, dude, 2 years from now, I'm saying, I guarantee you we've talked to Andrew. I don't know if it'll be about this.
If you're listening to this in 2024, just know today the second pandemic hasn't happened yet. But it maybe did after today, but before today. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're in 2024, so today in 2024, maybe it has happened. But today, when we recorded this, it hasn't happened. But when this drops, it could have happened. Ding, 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 ding. Was there a third question?
No, that was it.
That was it. All right. We're going to talk to Andrew Youngblood. We're going to sort this out. And here we go.
Dear Rory and Daniel.
Right, correct. The end. You guys, thanks for listening. We love you guys. Join the Patreon.
I only put Rory's name first because Daniel is my future husband, and I know he will forgive me.
What the fuck? What am I?
Even with that sentence,
you're marrying this
I'm
person?
mad I'm not first. No. Sorry.
So you're not going to forgive them.
What?
Why am I not your future husband?
You went to check my work?
No, I just... Yes. Wait, why would I check it? It's in my favor. You have to get married. Oh, wait, I am married.
Yeah. You don't want to marry me. I'm married. Okay, ready?
Can I just say, as a close associate of Daniel's,
Yeah.
you don't want to marry him.
Okay.
Now, as a friend, still don't want to marry him.
I thought you were gonna go. But fuck.
But do you want to fuck this dude? I mean, hell
Okay,
yeah, you do. So much so you'd want to marry him. And fuck it all up. Here we go.
I am a cook at a daycare. And
all right, that's enough for me right there. Let's fold it up and let's start talking. No. I'm a cook at a daycare.
I'm a cook at a daycare, and every day
what are you making?
I get to prepare breakfast, lunch, and snack for about 100 kids.
That's too many.
I get to make all their favorites: chicken nuggets, burgers, pizza, meatloaf, and like today, mac and cheese.
Kids love mac and cheese.
Did you have school lunch growing up? If you did, what was your favorite? What was the worst? I always listen to you guys at work, and you make my days even easier than they already are. Thank you for being yourselves. Love, your pen pal, Catie.
We had school lunches.
What if I show up at her house someday and she's like happily in a relationship, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Who is this?
Because I got a letter here that says we're doing this.
I got a letter here from 10 years ago.
Right.
It says that we're married.
And I'm already in love with another woman, but I don't care because you wrote it down.
I own land in Scotland.
Her for years.
We own
but
land
you wrote
in
this
Scotland.
down.
Has anyone checked on our property?
We do not talk about that enough.
We have land in Scotland.
What is we're lords, right?
Are we lords?
Yeah.
We're lords. And we
Fucking
don't even that's how chill we are. We don't even flaunt stuff like when someone goes, what do you want me to bring you up to? It should be like, well, fucking
I
tell
should
me
start
I'm a lord.
saying, say he's a lord.
Say I'm a lord.
Say if you're really into House of Dragons, this motherfucker's a lord.
Next time someone's like, what do you want to come up to? I'm going to go, say that I'm the god of comedy. And just see if that sets the bar too high for what I'm going to do.
Oh, you know what I've loved? Number 2 bad boy in comedy.
Because I'm number 1.
Are you?
I don't know.
I'm coming for you, dude.
That's right. Whoever's number 1, I'm gunning for you.
Did you have any favorite lunches?
Look,
God, do we
our
have an
school
hour?
lunch was fucking gross.
Really?
I remember the spaghetti was like a
May
light
school, May
brownish
elementary
color. It was like
Wait, what was gross?
the spaghetti had like a
Spaghetti
light
was
brown.
great
It was
at May Elementary.
awful. Our food was so bad. I think I remember throwing up eating the spaghetti.
Oh my god!
And so I think I threw up undigested spaghetti, and I think it was like basically like fresh spaghetti that they served. It was like untouched by my internal organs.
This is wild to me because we grow up with all these jokes about how bad school lunch is.
Yeah.
And I always thought, oh, that must be something we're all
Some
pretending.
schools get lucky. Some schools
never-
schools have a cook.
I know the answer, but I have to ask this way. You've never had a winky dink?
I mean, that's between me and my wife.
What do you Here we go. Here we go. And I'm on some podcasts, I recently described this. I guess it's not this one. Even if it was, you and I can't remember the boy band we created 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, ready?
We had a good name, too.
I know. It was an
think.
acronym.
I don't know if we had a good name. Listen.
B. It was like there was B's
Good.
in there.
Good.
Do you remember this at all?
Yes. I just don't remember it, but I remember it.
B, like boy band.
Wait, we said it on a show, right?
Yeah.
Can someone help us out? Daniel and I are going to look it up.
Yes.
Someone who is right now going, I'm almost through 2018.
And you know what I'm going to say?
Just tell us what it says.
Shanley won't do it, and Emily, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Someone else has to do it.
Yeah, someone else
Yeah.
has to do our bidding.
Okay.
What band are we in?
What do you think a winky dink is?
Well,
And granted, school lunch. I'll give you a couple clues. It's hot.
oh,
Okay, it's a warm dish.
I thought it was like where your balls. Never mind.
Okay.
Go on. You go first.
You just learned what sounding was.
I didn't just learn.
Okay. When is what, dude? Somebody that could have been the last episode they listened to.
I did just learn that.
Okay.
But also, if it's not last episode, then I didn't just learn.
Right.
Also, I don't know that I still understand it.
Or someone's listening backwards, and you're gonna learn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
God, this show's good. This is a really good show.
This is the reboot to Quantum Leap.
This is the podcast for
Yeah.
Quantum Leap.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's warm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It has items a kid would like.
Okay.
Like how you were like all kids like mac and cheese.
Is it a dessert?
No. It's lunch.
Not a
it's
dessert.
the entree.
It's called a Winky Dink.
Yep.
It's a hot dog.
Fucking A, dude. You're getting
Right?
You got that's one of it.
Covered in ice cream.
No.
Served to you by a clown.
No.
Why are clowns? Why
How'd you
did
know
Halloween ruin clowns?
Wait,
you
can
know
we
what I
not
mean?
skip over your magic?
What?
How did you know it was a hot dog?
I'm guessing. I
Okay.
have no idea. Because you said it's not a dessert.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, if kids eat it,
Do you wanna
that
guess
narrows
how
down
it was
to three
prepared?
things: hot dog, mac and cheese, or pasta.
Yeah.
And technically, mac and cheese is pasta.
pasta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hot
what
dog.
do you do?
Hot dog.
You slice it open.
No. Somehow
Is there
they
a
would
bun?
take a normal piece of bread, like a square piece
Actually,
of bread.
like if you say a bread,
Okay.
you take a bread.
and then cheese. And then
Oh.
somehow they would toast it so it would be wrapped around, the bread would be wrapped around
Okay.
the hot dog, and then that's how it would stay. And it
So
was
you're talking
so
about a
good.
non-fried corn dog in a way, a cheesy non-fried corn dog.
I guess it's just like a hot dog with cheese,
Yeah,
and it would be
But it's-
toasted,
it's-
but the
it's-
bread's toasted around the
but
hot
not
dog.
fried like a corn dog.
I loved Winky Dink Day, loved it.
What are you doing? Ketchup and eating it?
I don't even remember.
Do you hold
to
it
be honest.
like? Are you
Yeah,
holding
you hold
like
it.
a
Yeah,
little
because you got your
stick?
bread. No, you got your bread there.
Yeah.
I've never figured out how to recreate it. I don't know how they did this en masse.
What was the bread?
Just a normal white bread.
So it was not a bun.
Nope.
It was a piece of white bread.
Yes, toasted with
And, like,
cheese
rolled.
around, almost like a little triangle, because it would do it on the corners.
Yeah.
So they would do it. You would do it diagonally,
Yeah.
and then corner to corner, it would meet at the top and somehow be
Yeah.
like.
And what age are you?
Well, this is elementary, so what would that? What's that? Like
80s?
6 to 12,
Yeah.
6, something like that.
Well, this would have been the 80s.
Yeah.
Let's say 86.
That's the beginning.
Yeah. So I think maybe go if someone's gonna do a T-shirt, it should say Winky Dink Day, and then 1986.
Perfect.
Yeah. If someone's gonna do
Or
a T-shirt,
88. That's what right. That's in the
go
wheelhouse.
88. Winky Dink Day 88. And
Yeah.
just have it say Winky Dink Day, and have fun with that font.
Wait, you didn't have anything?
Bring those to Houston. Sell those at the show. We're going back to open market format.
I'll do that in a heartbeat. As long as people have to haggle.
You have to also bring us.
And you can't put price tags when people come up, depending on how you feel about them. You have to go. I'll do 15 on those shirts.
Yeah, I heard.
And then
but
the
that
next
guy got 10. You go. Yeah, he did.
He did.
He did.
He did.
Daniel and Rory each got a free one,
Right.
and that's
that was
important.
nice.
We
That
each
was
have to
good.
get a free one.
Wait, you didn't have anything they served that you liked?
I don't remember school lunch. All I remember is the spaghetti trauma that I'm currently talking about.
It was so gross.
I do remember when getting the like old school chocolate milk. Those were always so good, and they were
Yeah.
nicely cold. They were like
I remembered.
perfectly cold, as cold as you get, but not frozen.
Are you talking about
So
in
good.
cafeteria, or are you talking about like kindergarten
In
chocolate
cafeteria.
milk day
In cafeteria,
and graham crackers?
in the cafeteria.
Also, I always liked the burgers. There was nothing special about them, but I really liked them.
I don't remember because we also we also took lunch too. So
What do you? Oh, you took a lot.
yeah,
We almost never.
it's so
took.
strange.
I don't think.
Elliot's like lunch, like making
Yeah,
lunch.
what's
and
her deal?
They have snack, they have lunch, like
And
they
she
can do
brings
school
lunch, and you have to make it every day.
or she can sign up and do school lunch.
And how does she feel about it?
She doesn't. I mean, the kid, she won't eat it, and then she'll come home and I'll be like, "Did you eat your lunch?" She's like, "No." It's like even the lunch that she brings, she doesn't eat. I'm like, "All right, you gotta fucking eat, dude."
Is that probably
She's like,
more
I didn't like it.
economical because some of the stuff, if she doesn't touch it, you can use the next day, right? Other than maybe the sandwich.
Or I'll just eat it, like
Yeah.
right there. I'll go
Yeah.
give it to me. I'll eat that right now.
We had a system too where it was like you had lunch tickets,
Yeah.
and you had to buy these lunch tickets.
Yeah.
And then you would like take the ticket off. I guess you'd keep it in your desk
Yeah.
and give the ticket when you were getting the hot meal.
Oh.
And
And that's how they tracked.
then if you were out of lunch tickets, they would then keep a tally of what you owed.
Yeah.
And I remember that being very stressful for me.
I remember the pizza being gross too. Wait,
Our
why was
pizza's-
that stressful for you?
I think sometimes, I never felt like we didn't have money, but I think my mom was just doing so many jobs
Yeah.
that there were times she was probably like, "Fuck, I forgot to buy these. I give these kids money to buy
do the
more lunch
tickets thing.
tickets."
Yeah.
I also remember the pizza was square or like a rectangle.
Yes.
And I think they called it pepperoni, but it was little tiny cubes
Yes.
of pepperoni.
Little bacon
And
bits.
they were always cooked at completely different temperatures. Some people would
Yeah.
get like a floppy one, some people got a nice crisp one.
Yeah.
Did you ever get into trading?
Yes.
What would you trade? What would you trade?
It would be anything.
But what did you like that you didn't get?
I was always going for sweets. I'd trade stuff for sweets.
I'm a cookie guy. Still to this day.
Sweets for sweets. Chips for sweets.
Are you sending a sweet with Elliot?
Trade negotiations. Yeah.
Have you talked to her about trading, or do you think it's just a natural?
I don't. It's not my
learned behavior that kids.
That's just going to happen. You can stay out of that.
What
you don't have to teach a kid kickball. They're going to learn it. You don't have to teach a kid tag.
Well, they're taught.
Freeze tag. They learn it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wonder. I bet you some schools like don't allow trading. Like they get in on it. Where I go, no, these kids need to learn.
That's education.
Free market.
That's
like our merch sales.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I couldn't imagine cooking for 100 kids. Like I can't even make dinner for the 3 of us. I mean, I can, but I can't.
I wonder what that would be like. Because like if you make mac and cheese, it's a quarter cup of milk, like Kraft mac and cheese. So
yeah,
this is put this on the list of dumbest things I ever said. So when you're making for a cafeteria, it's a whole fucking gallon, right? You're just like pour it all in because we're making so much here, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Wild.
Do you think it's all just going in one big thing? Or you think you're doing like
I'm picturing
a couple trays,
macaroni and cheese in a fucking vat, and you're just like,
I don't think that's right.
Like a double toilet,
like over a open fire, like a witch's brew.
Right. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't like fruit roll-ups. I didn't care for those. I didn't care for gushers.
Gushers?
Yeah.
Did you say gushers?
Yeah.
Gushers.
Isn't that what they were called?
Gushers.
Isn't that what they were called?
No one talked to him for a second. Gushers.
Isn't that what they were called?
Look at how we're all responding.
But I'm so...
If that's what they were called, why would we even be stopping right now? Gushers.
Because I'm so certain I think maybe you're thinking of something else.
No, I'm not.
Enough out of you two. What is it called?
Gushers. I'm leaving it there because that's what I want it to now be.
What is it called?
Gushers. Gushers. Because when you'd bite into it, it would gush out.
Or goosh.
Gushers.
You don't think that? This isn't a
not
Reese's Pieces
once
thing.
ever.
This is not Reese's Pieces.
I'm aware.
I thought it was that.
I can tell by your.
You know what?
I can tell by your openness to change to Gushers that it isn't Reese's.
But
Pieces.
also, now you know how much I didn't care for them.
Gushers. That might be why. Because goosh, you're like, give me that goosher.
Well, you know what a goocher is.
What?
A goocher is like when something happens, it tells you something bad's gonna happen.
Oh,
Stand by me. They all flip
thought
the
it was
coins.
a sex thing.
You nut.
Again,
fruit roll-ups were fine. I wanted Chips Ahoy, Oreos,
Dunkaroos.
Sure.
That cream, that frosting.
Never a Go-Gurt. Never much of a Go-Gurt guy. The kids that got tricked into thinking that was their sweet snack.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Where are they now? That's a where are they now? I'd like to see.
I loved yogurt and now I'm unemployed.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Well, did I read this?
Definitely unhappy. Wherever they are, they're unhappy. Or they went the other way and they finally tried sweets and they're like, oh, fuck. And now they're like Fortune 500. They own like a company.
Did you like, do you remember the lollipop?
Isn't it weird the goal is to like own a company? Like when you're like, I'm going to be the CEO. Like, doesn't that sound so awful? Like, I'm the CEO of something. I would just be like, ugh.
Rory.
Why would you want to do that?
That's what you're headed towards.
Being a CEO?
Yeah.
I'll never be a CEO. I don't have what it takes.
I don't have the time to tell you while you're. This is exactly what you're going towards.
A CEO.
Didn't you have your own production company on Robbie?
No.
You didn't create one?
No.
Okay. Well, keep working. You're gonna be forced to get one.
And
you know what's gonna say?
No one forces you to get one. Like if you pitch right now, you wouldn't do it through your production company because that's a massive amount of money. That'd be a whole thing to try to pull together.
My production company is attached to everything I do.
Mine was through Will Ferrell's Gary Sanchez.
Right, but you are a creator.
They are producing the show.
But you do want to create. So eventually it's going to be your own thing.
Yeah, but you can't just step in and know how to produce a show.
No, but it's your company
thing. But if it's your company, you got to produce it. That's you hiring the people and paying them and running a company and being like, we're making a TV show. What?
You mean Lissa?
This is a podcast. Listen, have you made a TV show? Have you ever produced a TV show?
Not to date.
Great answer, by the way. I didn't ask you to pretend you're on trial, but you handled it. You handled it flawlessly.
We're
not today. Not to my knowledge.
We're producers on a feature.
So the two of you are organizing the whole. Like you broke down the shoot, the expenses.
That's your line producer.
But I mean, this is coming from production. This is like you are running. You are the top of it, of all those things.
Do you think Sandler's that?
So then technically, this is your movie.
Do you think Sandler's that?
Well, he has that company,
but he's the CEO.
He has people who like do that.
He's probably not even the CEO at this point.
But like,
he's the founder.
I don't think he's stepping into Billy Madison going, "Yeah, my production company." Because people are like, "What do you mean your production company?" Like he didn't have a production company going into Billy Madison. I don't think he had one going into like Happy Gilmore.
Right, because I would agree because it's born out of those two names.
Right, but I think what I mean is like on my own show, it's like I wouldn't have production company. Someone would be like, "What do you mean?" Like Comedy Central would almost be like, "What are you talking about?" You're.
I'm just saying, in 15 years,
it
will not shock me in the least that you have a production company.
Maybe.
Yeah, yes, you might not, but I'm just saying, as a creator, as a person who actually does the thing, you don't just wait by the phone and hope you get called.
Yes.
You have had some of those opportunities, right?
What?
But where you just, man, I hope they call me and say I'm the guy.
Nobody ever calls me.
Okay. Season 3. So, but you are a creator, so I could see you doing that. But business, I walk around here and I don't never.
And wear a top hat. Do you think you have to wear a top hat?
Yes. Okay.
This is your letter. This is your wife that wrote this letter, so I don't have to.
It's not
working. Do you feel like it's not working? Do you feel like now that we've gotten to the end of the letter, it's not working? She's a cook, dude. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
And like also when she makes something that you're interested in, she knows how to make massive amounts of it. Like she goes out to the deep freezer in the garage and you are set for like years.
I hope her Bumble profile is like, I can make so much food.
Can you imagine your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, roommate, whatever, if they're a chef during the pandemic? Oh, God. That's
you think they kept
amazing. It up? I don't know. Like if they're like, hey, I was going to do this like homemade dumplings. Not even like, okay.
Right.
I was going to try a thing. Okay.
Catie, keep making that food. Feel free to do a follow-up to this. Also, everybody, I want to know people's school lunches.
I would like to know a percentage, too, of who gross and not gross.
If you have a memory from being, realizing you were like, and that's how I learned, like, how I lost negotiating.
Yep.
From any of it all. We wish you all. Thank you so much for sending this in. Sincerely, your pen pals, Daniel Van Kirk.
Rory Van Scovel. It's also a freezer in here because of these two fucking psychopaths.
I actually feel fine.
I know. That's why I'm calling you a psychopath.